What is what is up, Impact Nation? Welcome to a quick bonus episode of the Anthem of Impact Wrestling Show. I am your host, Jason. Uh, Today's video, I'm going to talk real quick about the announcement of Bound for Glory, which is now, I think, what a lot of people will know is going to take place in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. So I know there's a lot of people out there, especially people in the Orlando area, that always goes to the Impact Zone for tapings and stuff like that. I know that they've come out and said that they told them in the Impact Zone that Bound for Glory was going to take place in Orlando. If that's the case, that does suck. But in their mind, they probably didn't think too much of whenever they were trying to make a decision on whether or not to keep it in Orlando or move it, however that decision came about. Whenever they probably thought about the people that already bought plane tickets, or because I don't think actual tickets obviously have not gone on sale, but people already get booked flights and hotels for that. They probably weren't thinking there was too many, because the only people would have been the people that were there in the Impact Zone that night, and most of the time those are people that already live in Orlando, so it's not like they would have been buying hotels or plane tickets. Unfortunately, what they don't think about, or probably obviously didn't, or didn't consider it to be that big of a deal, obviously there's Twitter, so people tweeted out that it would take place in Orlando, so other people jumped the gun. And just, I'm not saying anybody's at fault for this, like any fans at fault, but this is why you need to wait until Impact gives a official announcement. I don't believe Impact ever gave an official announcement as far as the location. I know that they threw out a graphic with November 5th a while back, but I don't believe it ever said live from Orlando or live from anywhere. I don't remember. If somebody knows for a fact that there was that somewhere, let me know. Leave a comment. But sorry, something's going on my computer here. All right, that was weird. Sorry, it was kind of distracting. All of a sudden, my bottom bar, my computer just kind of went away, and I was coming back, but my video's been recording the whole time, so that's weird. Okay, anyway, enough distractions. So I don't know. Like I said, if you do know for a fact, if you do remember seeing it, show me in the comments or something, or hit me up on Twitter at Anthem of Impact with the proof. That'd be awesome. I never want to speak out of turn. But again, that's kind of one of the reasons why, I try not to even believe anything, on the dirt sheets. Right now there's this rumor about Jim Cornette. Now, I've heard a couple different rumors. Again, I'm going to wait until, Jim Cornette comes out on Twitter and says something, which he might have. I haven't looked over the last couple, probably the last hour I haven't looked at Twitter. So again, I apologize if I'm speaking out of turn here, but, supposedly he is banned from Canada. So he can't go, regardless if he's still with GFW or not, he can't go to Canada. It's not allowed. So hopefully what they'll probably do, he might not be able to do a live, be part of it live of the actual Bound for Glory show. But as far as the rest of the tapings, he can always just show up at the studios in Nashville and do that. But now I did see somebody, and I can't remember the name of the Twitter, but I did see somebody saying that they have heard from people inside the company. I'm guessing not very high ends up, but people that they know that work there. And I don't know if they're talking about Anthem or Impact Global Force Wrestling specific. It just said we've spoken to people directly in the company. Their plans are in 2018 to move all the tapings to Canada. Which, for me, I can't go to either one. I'm kind of tired of these tapings in one spot. I know it takes money to travel, but I would like to just to get a fresh crowd, at least every couple weeks, a fresh crowd would be great. you know, it just kind of gives a different aspect instead of just like same thing for like every week forever for years. It just kind of um, I don't know. It just, I mean, obviously you hear it all the time with people that, and it's not just us Impact fans that have been watching it for years. There are people that will try to watch it or only occasionally watch it to kind of see where if GFW or Impact's getting any better. And one of the first things they always say, all of them do say, is the Impact crowd. Their biggest problem is the Impact crowd. And no matter what the reasoning is, whether it's just something that they can't figure out in editing, if they're quieting the crowd for whatever reason, if it is the crowds, I can just go off of what I see on TV, and what I see on TV is not a whole lot of people really kind of moving their mouths too much, or clapping hands or doing whatever. Sometimes you do. These last several episodes, they have been doing very well. They're very vocal. So props to the Impact crowd here these last set of tapings, but this has been a topic of conversation for a very long time, to where it's not like a myth anymore. It's not. The Impact crowd is a problem. Not talking about anybody specific, and I'm not saying that it's every show or every time, but it is. It has been a problem for the company. It just has. And if the Canadian crowds are going to give it a little bit more voice, great, awesome. But again, eventually they're going to get jaded too. If it's the same people all the time, they're going to kind of tune out. They're going to kind of just be there to be there. So I just wish that they would kind of, even if they just did a different set of tapings from a different spot. So, they keep the Impact Zone. They start doing things at the fairgrounds again in Nashville or something like that. Up in Canada, maybe, get the Hammerstein Ballroom again in New York. And they do shows there. They do something in Vegas every once in a while. And you have a good handful of 5 to 6 spots that, here we go. This is the tapings, and they'll do the next, several weeks from that or whatever. If they have to do it like that. And then gradually maybe get just to the point where hopefully they're successful enough, which I think we all hope that happens, and they can then go to just straight up traveling live every week or something like that. But to the thing at hand, the Bound for Glory stuff, I'm excited. I've seen people tweet out images of the Aberdeen Pavilion. Is that what it's called again? Something like that. It's a really cool looking building. I think it could be a really nice kind of setting for a Bound for Glory style event, that they can kind of really turn into an Impact Zone style looking thing. I'm stoked for it. There's a lot of people on this roster that are from Canada. They're gonna get that hometown crowd reaction. I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of different things still, though, that are just, it's kind of up in the air and it's weird. You get the Jim Cornette stuff. You get the fact that all the new graphics just say Impact. They don't have GFW on it. But they clearly, whenever it comes to the weekly television, are still calling it Global Force Wrestling, still calling it GFW. There's still the global all the championships that they just changed. So it's really weird. And personally, I think that a lot of the anger with this Bound for Glory thing, I think it just comes, and if anybody leave me a comment, tell me if this is, if I'm hitting the nail on the head here with this, with how some other people are thinking, because to be honest with you, I've even kind of had some of these feelings here lately with all this different new stuff coming out, because it's starting to finally wear. It's finally starting to wear on me, where it's starting to affect my, joyfulness of watching wrestling, one, but mainly Global Force, because I also then don't like watching WWE anymore, because I hate the way that those fans, or the people that usually support and put that company on such a pedestal, how they react to GFW, how the dirt sheets react to GFW, and now how the fans, GFW fans inside of GFW, are reacting to each other. and how they're reacting to this dirt sheet. It's just starting to finally like wear and wear and wear and wear, and it's not making it fun. And I think this like Bound for Glory move, when in any other time people would have been like, man, it sucks, but have to admit this is a good decision. This is a better area. This will make it a bigger show. Good for Canada. Now it's, man, screw GFW, screw Impact, screw Anthem. This is bull. I can't believe that they would do this to people. You know, they're getting mad. They're getting upset. And then you have other fans telling them, like, well, dude, you guys get Impact all the time. Let somebody else get Impact. So, you're seeing a lot more infighting than you really have before inside the GFW fan community. And it's just, and I personally do think it's because everything that's all coming at once just feels like we're never going to get out of, this just muck of rumors and crap and people not doing things right. And because this whole, and I know Anthem hasn't had this for a while or whatever, but as long as Impact Wrestling's been around, whenever they do these random big shows somewhere else, whether it's, Bound for Glory that happened like Arlington that one year, or in the Detroit area, or Boston, any of these places that they've gone outside of Impact Zone to do a pay-per-view, it always gets like announced a couple months ahead of time. The one thing that the WWE does right is they tell you a year in advance what WrestleMania is going to be, and a year in advance where SummerSlam is going to be. Some of the other ones, like Rumble and Survivor Series, not quite as far out, but they still get told several months out that this is where it's going to be. GFW, if they're going to keep doing this with Bound for Glories, you can't tell us. I mean, it's almost just a month. It's a little over a month away from Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory is November 5th. I mean, it's a month and a half away. That's not enough time. That's just not, because if you really want to get people that will travel from all over the world, like WrestleMania or SummerSlam, and they get people from all around the world, you gotta let them know so they can take time off work. They can get a plane ticket. They can get a hotel. It's not last minute. They have enough time to save up money. Now it's like, okay, it's going to be a bunch of Canadians and maybe some people from, the Northeast and North that can travel there from the U.S. But, also people that are in the U.S. or from overseas, now they got to get passports. They don't have one. So again, that takes time, and you're not allowing a lot of people to get what they need to do what they need to do to get to your show and pay money to come see the product. So, again, for me, I was never going to go no matter where it was. I don't have that type of time nor money to really probably ever do that. That's something that would be nice on a bucket list at some point. To be able to go to that, or like a WrestleMania or something, like one of those like really big wrestling events like that. It'd be really cool. But as of right now, I just don't have that type of money and or time. I can't take off work like that. But so then for me, it's just a person going to watch it on TV. Not going to lie, this Canadian atmosphere, especially looking at these pictures of this building, has me really excited for Bound for Glory. And I think it's going to come off as a better, bigger show than it would in Orlando at Universal Studios. It just is. That's just going to be the fact. Like, it's just, that's probably what's going to be. It's going to look better. Part of me right now is anxious and kind of curious to see what this company's even going to look like at Bound for Glory, and the weeks after. I don't know. Maybe all this stuff is just one big work too, like I talked about in my last review. Jeff loves to book and his creative to be reality based, and you've seen it a lot in a lot of the different stories. Maybe this is part of it, and I don't know. I guess we'll see. Like I said, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And I don't know. Just keep supporting, and we'll ride this out until whenever it might go down or skyrocket to the top. We'll just got to keep enjoying the weekly product. All right, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Peace.